Back in the 1990s, Beverly Hills 90210 wasn't just a TV show. It was a cultural earthquake. For millions of teenagers worldwide, it was a weekly appointment with drama, romance, and the glamorous, complicated lives of the West Beverly High crew. We tuned in to see what brand new trouble Brandon, Brenda, Kelly, and Dylan would get into. The over-the-top fashion, the dramatic hairstyles, the endless scandals. It didn't just reflect the 90s, it defined a generation. But as years turn into decades, time changes everything. The stars who once defined cool look almost unrecognizable today. Some left the glitz of Hollywood behind, and sadly, some are no longer with us. This is the story of the Beverly Hills 90210 cast, then, now, and the secrets they kept between takes. The main cast, then versus now. Gabrielle Carteris, Andrea Zuckerman. Then, the brainy Andrea Zuckerman was the smart, socially awkward West Beverly student who was always fighting for justice and good grades. She was the character who most represented the non-glamorous reality of high school. Now, Gabrielle stepped away from full-time acting and moved into a powerful new role in union leadership. She became the president of SAGAFTRA, a major labor union representing thousands of actors, cementing her place as a true leader in Hollywood. Supporting cast highlights in memoriam. The main cast weren't the only ones to leave a lasting impact. We also remember these beloved stars. David Gale, Stuart Carson, Brenda's fiancé. He had a short but impactful role on the show. He passed away in 2024 at 58. Ian Ziering, Steve Sanders. Then, the rich, arrogant prankster Steve Sanders provided much of the show's comic relief and was a source of constant, high-stakes trouble. He was the classic wild card. Brian Austin Green, David Silver. Then, David Silver was the ambitious geek who started out as a freshman but grew into a cool DJ and musician over the course of the series. He was the perfect underdog, always trying to fit in with the older kids. Now, Brian continued acting, appearing on shows like Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles. He also embraced reality television and is well known for his high-profile relationships, which have made him a constant subject of tabloid headlines. Tori Spelling, Donna Martin. Then, Donna Martin, the sweet, often naive, and famously chaste member of the group, was often at the center of controversy. Her character's biggest moment was the Donna Martin Graduates storyline, which became one of the most iconic moments in television history. Now, Tori Spelling has remained a fixture in the spotlight, primarily through her prolific reality TV career, her books, and frequent media appearances. She is also a dedicated mother of 5, a role that often plays out in front of the camera. Luke Perry, Dylan McKay. Then, Dylan McKay was the quintessential 90s bad boy. Brooding, mysterious, and with a tragic soul. He was the show's very own James Dean, a heartthrob who captured the hearts of millions with just a sideways glance. His love triangle with Kelly and Brenda was the central conflict for much of the show's early run. Now, Luke Perry successfully reinvented himself, starring in numerous TV shows and movies, most notably as Archie's father, Fred Andrews, on the popular teen drama Riverdale. He became a beloved father figure both on and off screen. Tragically, he passed away in 2019 at the young age of 52 after a massive stroke, leaving a legacy of kindness, talent, and generosity. Denise Dowse, Mrs. Teasley, the vice principal, the no-nonsense vice principal of West Beverly. She brought much-needed gravitas to the show. She passed away in 2022 at 64. Jenny Garth, Kelly Taylor. Then, Kelly Taylor started as the stereotypical spoiled it girl of West Beverly High, but her character arc became one of the most compelling on the show as her storylines grew darker and more complex, delving into addiction, recovery, and emotional struggles. Now, Jenny Garth never truly left the public eye. She starred in her own sitcoms, appeared on reality shows, and famously reprised her role as Kelly in both the 2008 spin-off 90210 and the 2019 reboot BH 90210. She is a pop culture icon who continues to embrace the role that defined her career. Nicholas Pryor, Andrea's mentor, an accomplished actor. He brought depth to the show in a supporting role. He passed away in 2024 at 89. Shannon Doherty, Brenda Walsh. Then, the rebellious Brenda Walsh was unforgettable for her fiery personality and explosive drama. She was the edgy twin who was always pushing boundaries and starting fights, making her the perfect dramatic foil to her brother Brandon. Her on-screen rivalry with Kelly Taylor was the stuff of legends. Now, after leaving 90210, Shannon became known for her role in the hit show Charmed. In her later years, she publicly battled stage 4 breast cancer with incredible strength, grace, and honesty, earning admiration worldwide. She bravely documented her journey, becoming a powerful advocate and symbol of resilience. Sadly, Shannon passed away in 2024 after a long and public fight with the disease. Enjoying the nostalgia? Show your support. Jason Priestley, Brandon Walsh. Then, he was Brandon Walsh, the moral compass of the show. He was the quintessential good guy, the new kid from the Midwest who everyone could count on. He was the voice of reason in a sea of teenage chaos, and his sincere smile was a constant presence on teen magazine covers. Now, Jason chose to shift his focus from acting to directing and producing. He helmed episodes of the original series and later directed numerous television shows, including the dramedy Private Eyes, where he also starred. While he still acts, he seems much happier and more fulfilled behind the camera, a true artist in command of his craft. Joe E. Tata, Nat, the diner owner, the kind-hearted owner of the Peach Pit. Nat was a father figure to the entire cast. He sadly passed away in 2022 at 85. Secret feuds and shocking facts. Behind the scenes of every perfect show, there are secrets, and Beverly Hills 90210 was no exception. The Shannon Doherty versus Jenny Garth rivalry. Their on-set feud was not just a rumor, it was a legendary part of 90s Hollywood lore. According to reports from cast and crew, their arguments were so intense that the entire set was affected. The rivalry was so bad that at one point they weren't even speaking to each other off camera. It was this constant tension that ultimately led to Shannon Doherty's departure from the show after 4 seasons. A stunning turn of events that made headlines worldwide. The Tori Spelling family drama. Tori's relationship with her family, especially her mother Candy Spelling, added a layer of real-life tension to the show. It was a well-known secret that Candy disapproved of some of Tori's co-stars, particularly her close relationship with Shannon Doherty, adding fuel to the behind-the-scenes fires that captivated the media. Jason Priestley's frustration. While Jason was beloved as the wholesome Brandon Walsh, he grew to resent the role. He felt his character was too one-dimensional and hated being labeled the moral center of the show. This frustration was a key factor in his decision to leave the series in its later seasons, a move that surprised and disappointed fans. A shocking fact about the cast salaries. For a show that earned over $1 billion in merchandise alone, the main cast was paid a shocking pittance by Hollywood standards, especially in the early seasons. While the show was at its peak, most cast members were making only about $30,000 per episode. This was a fraction of the show's true value, a fact that later became a point of contention and a widely discussed example of how little actors can earn from a massive hit. Why it still matters. Beverly Hills 90210 wasn't just a glamorous soap opera, it was a groundbreaking cultural force. While it was often criticized for its privileged characters, the show tackled incredibly serious and controversial topics for its time, including teenage drug addiction, teen pregnancy, date rape, gun violence, alcoholism, AIDS, and mental health. At a time when most shows avoided these subjects, 90210 confronted them head-on, making it a powerful tool for social commentary and an essential part of pop culture history. Timeless legacy. Even decades later, the show's influence is undeniable. The fact that the franchise has been rebooted multiple times, first with 90210 in 2008 and again with BH 90210 in 2019, shows just how strong its legacy is. The actors themselves became more than just celebrities, they became cultural touchstones of the 90s. The show's fashion, slang, and storylines are deeply embedded in our pop culture DNA. For fans, seeing the cast then versus now is more than just a trip down memory lane. It's a reminder of their own youth and a chance to reflect on how far they and the world have come. From scandals to shocking passings, from feuds to friendships, the cast of Beverly Hills 90210 lived through fame, fortune, and deep personal struggles. Some reinvented themselves, some walked away from the Hollywood machine, and some left us far too soon. But their impact on a generation and on television history is eternal. Which character was your favorite? Who surprised you most in this then versus now journey? And what's your most unforgettable memory of the show? Write in the comments below.